Hi folks, welcome to today's Kendo rant. Hope you're having a great day. Just a quick video today, I hope. I haven't got loads of time to spend with you today, I'm afraid, but I'll do my best anyway. It's actually, it's been a year since we registered our offices here in the UK and really became a truly international business as KendoStar. So we still got obviously our facilities over in Japan. We're still shipping out of Japan and we're also shipping out of the UK. We're sort of in both places so that we can offer a better worldwide service. And it's been a year now since we've done that, which has been fantastic, and it's been super successful, which has been brilliant. But what it does mean is there's a lot of paperwork when the year ends, lots of accounts and taxes, stuff like that I'm in the middle of sorting out. So anyway, I didn't want to put this aside because it is super important to me to do these videos. So let's get straight into it. Couple of questions I want to refer to first off from the last videos and comments on the last ones from the last couple of days. Somebody said, where did it go? Maybe Taikai preparation. What do you do prepare mentally and physically for a Taikai? Well, that's a really good one. It depends what level you're at, I guess. Of course, if you're like competing at super world, you know, the super elite level at like the world championships or what have you, then you know you need to really be preparing for it all the time. It doesn't stop. The 13 years I was on the national team, I'm not on it currently. But when I was on it, it was a constant thing. Hence, I'm sort of not on it at the moment because I've got too much else to deal with. It's like, you know, it's you're always preparing for it. But if it's sort of not, if you're not talking at that level, if you're talking at the level that most of us participate at, then essentially, physically, I mean, obviously you need to make sure that you're kind of in shape, especially depending on your age. You know, if you're young, you know, when I was in my sort of teens, when I was in my sort of late teens and early 20s and stuff, when I was competing in my 20s, I could just rock up and compete. I mean, I was, like I say, I was on the national team a lot then, so I guess I was competing all the time anyway. But you know, these days, now I'm a bit older, I can't really do that. I need to make sure I'm keeping in shape at least a little bit, otherwise I'm going to get injured. So there's that to bear in mind. But more importantly is mentally, and this is something I always struggled with throughout my competitive career, is preparing mentally. Especially in my sort of earlier career, I had a bit of imposter syndrome. Should I really be in this competition? I kind of felt a little bit too much out of my depth. I felt very nervous. Oh, well, what's going to happen? Especially after I first moved to Japan as well. I'd spent a year or two in Japan. I came back for a tournament and I think, oh no, I can't let everyone down. I've been spending all this time in Japan. Everyone's expecting a lot of me. You know, and I didn't deal with it very well on a mental level. Instead, what I learned to do later on, and certainly the way I approach it now, is I just try and stay calm and just take it as it comes. And I just got to remember that at the end of the day, I can only train as much as I can train. I can only go into the Shiai and do my very best. Okay, and whatever result will follow that. Okay, it might not be the result I want, or it might be a great result. I don't know, but I'm not going to get injured, hopefully. But you know, the worst thing that can happen is that I'll lose, and losing is a positive experience as well in Kendo. You get to learn how to improve next time. It's not like we're doing an actual sword fight. I'm not actually going to die or anything, or have the serious injury. So you know, all I can do is go out there and do my very best. And if you can go to your tournaments with that mindset, then I think competing in general becomes a lot easier, and you tend to achieve better in the tournament itself. Okay, so that's my sort of idea on that. There was another question that was about I quite like this question. Obviously, there's still quite a lot of questions coming in about, comments coming in about the Idol video that I did, the scandal that happened. But I'll just leave them be for now, because I don't want to go back over that now. I've kind of had enough of it. But basically, yeah. Here's a great question. It says, this is based off the last video. The last video was about how to improve without a sensei. It says, I have a question continuing on the point of not having a sensei. I've come from a very young club, so the highest graded person there we have is Shodan. And most of the club doesn't want to go to seminars or taikais or other clubs because they're scared of embarrassing themselves. I told them many times that they can improve so much more if they go to these events, and that everyone starts somewhere and no one will make fun of them or anything to that regard. I don't know how to motivate them or to do these activities. Even after I've told them that they can learn so much, even from failure, I've told them that you can learn a lot more from being hit than hitting someone. I'm really worried that some of the club will stagnate because they won't go out their comfort zone. Right. Okay. This is a difficult position to be in, of course, but like you say, it's a young club. So I think the first thing you've got to do, and it's tough, but we've got to be a bit patient. Yeah, we've got to be a little bit patient, and you know, let the club grow as a whole. That means whoever it is, if it's yourself that's got Shodan or whoever else is leading it that's got Shodan, they also need to progress as well, and they will do. As they start to progress, the whole level of the club will start to follow. But also, I think the other thing you can do is really do your best to get on board with everybody socially. These sort of events work so much better when everybody's a sort of bunch of friends and everybody kind of really gets along, and it's kind of a club trip and everybody is enjoying going away together to one of these events or visiting another club. That's where you've got to improve. Really, you've got to improve those sort of social links so that everybody feels like, oh yeah, let's all go out together. And yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right in telling them that it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Everyone starts somewhere. Nobody's going to poke fun at them or think, oh, who the hell's this guy? And it just isn't like that. They really will enjoy going for it. They'll gain a lot from it. I definitely back up your statements there. So, you know, feel free to point to this video where I'm backing up what you're saying, frankly. But if you are in a club that is a sort of newer club that doesn't have a very experienced sort of leadership, then definitely do your best to get out to other places, get to tournaments, get to meeting as many people as you possibly can, because Kendo people are great. Kendo people are absolutely wonderful, and the more of them you meet, the happier time you'll have doing Kendo. Okay, so do your best to do that. Okay, so it's a little bit of patience on one side of it, but it's also, like you say, it's a little bit, you know, trying to encourage them to get out of the comfort zone. Now, the last thing he said, where he said, I'm worried that some of the club will stagnate because they won't go out of the comfort zone. The other thing you're going to have to do is, sadly, you're going to just have to accept a little bit of that as well. There's always going to be some people that won't do it. There's always going to be some people. There's always going to be some people that prefer to just practice in their own club. They prefer to stay where they know and where they're comfortable. And that's fine, okay? It's fine, okay? Yes, they might not progress super rapidly. All you can do to help those people is you can do your best to improve yourself. Go out, go to other clubs, go to events, go to seminars, and then bring that information, bring those things that you learned to those people that are less willing to go outside of their own dojo doors. Okay, so that's sort of my thoughts on that as well. Okay, last one. This isn't really a question from anyone. This is something that I wanted to talk about because I found this video and I was going to just post it on the blog, but it needs a little bit of explaining because I was actually a little bit, I don't know if surprised is the right word, but I was kind of, I can't think of the correct word to say, but I was kind of, I did find it very interesting, let's say. And it's some videos from it looks like it's from the Gyokuryuki, which is a big, massive high school tournament in Japan that happened last month. And it's all about Hansoku. Now, somebody did actually post a comment saying, can you talk about Hansoku? Now, that's a whole, there's loads of different Hansoku, but this is an interesting one because the rules were changed for high school level tournaments several years ago. And it's only high school level tournaments, all right? It's not moved over into grown-up level tournaments. But the idea is that if they nip this in the bud here, then as people sort of progress, hopefully it will kind of, you know, disappear from grown-up Shiai and adult Shiai. So it's all about Hansoku from Tsubazeriai. Okay, so Tsubazeriai is when they're very close. I'm going to get a couple of pens here. I've got a Sharpie here, and I've got a what else? I'm going to find another pen. Yeah, I've got a pen here. There we go. Okay, so when the people are very close. So normally you've got your toma like this, and then you've got your like isoku ito no mae, so your one cut distance, your chikama, And then you've got Tsuba Zeriai, where the Shinai are crossed at the Tsuba, like this, okay? Now, it's very interesting how they changed the rules for the high school students. They changed it to say that they're not allowed to spend, I think they said like 10 seconds there without any sort of activity. Okay, so if they stay in Tsuba Zeriai the whole time, there's no proper attacking going on or nothing's really progressing, then they award Hansoku. And it's possible for them to award Hansoku to both players at the same time. This happens in this video quite a lot. I'm going to post the video down below. Alright, so it's either down below in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this straight on the KendoStar blog site, I'll embed the video below this one. Alright, so after I finish talking, go and watch this video so you've got an idea of what I'm on about. But basically, there's a few cases in here where it looks like one of the players... Now, we've always known that if you're not proactively trying to make an attack or retreat from Tsuba Zeriai, and you're doing that just to kind of hold on to a point, everybody gets Hansoku for that, okay? That happens at all levels. But in high school tournaments, they've got much stricter on this. This video shows it. There's a few instances where it really is subtle, and it's kind of borderline. You know, it's a kind of borderline decision, really. Is that really Hansoku? I actually found myself thinking a couple of times. But this is the kind of kendo that they want to get away from. And most interestingly, and this is something that I think is very much misunderstood. And it's about when you do wakare, okay? Now, obviously, I don't mean when the shimpan says wakare. I mean when you both decide to separate, okay? When the two players separate. Now, first off, in about 99% of the Shiai I've ever seen in Japan, okay, if you're doing Tsuba Zeriai and then you come back this way, you both sort of agree, there's a break in the mai, okay? Both of them go to Toma before starting again, okay? Now, if they go back, again, I'm demonstrating this with these two pens, but if you go back like here and then sort of at this kind of weird distance, like chikama, between chikama or isoku, this kind of weird distance, you try and hit men here, okay? Generally in Japan, this is not considered as yuko datotsu, okay? In an adult shiai, okay? If you hit the men, unless there's some sort of extenuating circumstances, which there might be, so you could go out there and find me an example on YouTube, that's fine, whatever. But generally, the general understanding is that, okay, waza happens either from Tsuba Zeriai as hikiwaza, or you separate and then the interaction starts again, okay? This kind of half separate and then hitting at each other tends not to, especially it's a little bit grey, because sometimes you see people do a hikiwaza from here, which is a bit unusual. But it's really difficult to explain, but it's when both of them are still fighting, especially kind of coming back to this sort of weird distance and then trying to hit a men and go forward this way. It's just never ever gets given as a point in Japan. Hardly ever, because it just isn't considered the correct opportunity. Now, what's more important, the reason I'm sort of talking about this is because the new rule, well, I say new, it's quite a few years old now. It's probably about like 8 or 9 years old, but they've got really strict on it. You can see from this video. Now, for these high school kids, it's either hikiwaza, or if one of them tries to retreat, or if there looks like there's going to be a separation, they have to separate before they begin their interaction again. All right, and there's an example in this video where they kind of get together, they start having a bit of a clash. One of them tries for a kind of hikiwaza, it doesn't work, so they sort of stop, and then they start to go back this way. The other one chases down and tries to hit and gets awarded Hansoku. Okay, so it's very, very unusual sort of set of events. Is something that we're not really used to in the way that we generally practice Kendo. It isn't counted as a Hansoku in adult tournaments, let me just make that very clear, but at the same time it's quite rare that such a point would be awarded as Ippon anyway, because they don't like that sort of thing. Generally they want you to make a point from Tsuba Zeriai that is a good hikiwaza, or they want you to start the interaction from Toma with good semeai, di, good pressure, and then a point at the correct opportunity. Okay, that's what they really want, and that's the kind of kendo that I guess they're encouraging, which is why this sort of rules come into effect. Anyway, check out the video. I'll put a link down below if it's on YouTube, or if you're watching on the KendoStar site, like I said, it should be right underneath this video. Give it a watch, and yeah, let me know what you think. It's a bit unusual if you watch it. And that's basically it. Okay, so I'm sorry I've kind of compacted a lot into today's video. I know I've been talking a little bit fast, so play it on half speed or whatever if you need to. Yeah, thank you for watching. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you'd like me to rant about next time, talk about next time. I am working on those episodes of the Kendo Show that I filmed over the weekend. It's going to be a little while though before I can get it up. But I will let you know as soon as they're ready. Don't forget to shop at KendoStar, because that's what we're all about. That's what keeps me doing this, and that's what you know, indeed pays for me to do this. This is so I don't have to have a real job. I can do Kendo and talk about Kendo and help everybody else do Kendo by sending everybody brilliant, wonderful Kendo equipment from KendoStar. Okay, it's a great website. It's great gear. It's all designed by me. It's all operated by me, you know, so yeah, shop there, KendoStar. All right, I think that's about it, and I'll see you next time.